Good morning. Wow, what an amazing time we've been having for this revival. It's just been intense. It's been awesome. But this song that the Lord gave me is coming to pass. That's just so awesome. And seeing it come to pass. I know you see it backwards on there, but the Lord had, each one of us had renamed the hotels that we were going to. And now we're currently having, the Lord said to take dinner inside the hotel. So we're literally having a barbecue right in the courtyard of the Royal Inn here. And the Relax Inn is across the street. And then all the other hotels, the people are just walking down and just, we're celebrating. And so the song is literally coming to pass from the Lord's heart. And that just blesses me. And so many other things are just happening. And Jesus is just showing his faithfulness and his love and his goodness. And I know I look a mess, but I've just been praying this morning. I just wanted to share a couple things. First of all, that's been happening. Let me move this. Okay. I just hope you can see my face. I'm not highly professional at recording. But, you know, sometimes we don't understand when the Lord gives us things. And I think it's just more important to just obey. Even if we don't understand, just obey and just speak it, just say it, release it. And so, for me, the Lord was giving me the word upheaval. And this was, I think, a week before Pentecost. And I was praying it through, and I had asked a couple of different pastors to pray with me because it was really intense. It was really strong in my heart. And I was just interceding, and I was praying, and the Father took me into his heart, and he showed me like this upheaval, and I seen different things happening under the surface. And I was like, okay, Lord, show me what you're saying. And because I know that ultimately, for me, he's been teaching me a lot about he's been teaching me how to be his prophet to the nations. And I've always just been in the stance of, look, I'm just a servant and I'm just listening to him because I love him. And now he's saying, okay, I called you as a prophet to the nations, so I'm teaching you how to be my prophet. And so not just receiving the word and releasing it, but learning how and when to deliver it accurately. And so it's just been very profound in this walk that he's really been teaching me and taking me deeper. And so, so the next day after he gave me that word upheaval, I just kept praying. I just kept praying in the Spirit and praying through. And then the next day we had a prayer gathering before we went out on the field here in the house, and it was packed. I mean, there was no room in here in this area where my sister has her meetings, and it was like, wow. And so the Lord just began to speak to me. We had one lady come who is African American. We have a few of those on our team, but the ones she's African American. She's amazing. Her name is Rochelle. And she came, and a lot of changes had happened in her life. And I think this is the first time she came to this particular meeting. She usually goes out on the field when we cook on Tuesdays and Saturdays and helps feed out at the building. So I don't think she's come before to do the team where we go to the hotels and take the food to them. So it was her first time being here. And so anyway, after the meeting, the Lord said, wash her feet. And I told my sister, I said, and my mom, I said, the Lord's telling me to wash her feet, and he's really breaking my heart. And so she, you know, everyone, we got done praying, all the team went outside, but my dad, it was just my dad who stayed in here with me, interceding. And I got the pan, and I just began, I asked her if I could wash her feet, and she said yes. And I just got the pan, and I just began to wash her feet and anoint them with oil. And I was crying and weeping over her feet. And I was saying, will you forgive me for killing your bloodline? Will you forgive me for hurting your people? I mean, it was just coming out of me. And I was saying stuff like, I'm a tall blonde woman and you don't like tall blonde women, but Jesus loves you and he's using me to let you know he loves you and I love you. And anyway, it was just, I did for like 25 minutes and we just cried together and it was beautiful. And a lot of you know my best friend, Anita, she is African American and she just went home to be with the Lord in March 3 years ago. And she traveled with me for 25 years in ministry, and we did ministry together, and I love her. She's amazing. And so I love black people, always have. My granddaughter is black. My son-in-law is black, and it's not that I don't see no color. I do see the color. I think color is beautiful. God sees the color. He loves it. He created it. And so anyway, then I had forgotten that this had happened. And so I seen her at the hotel. She came out to see me and she said, wow. She said the next day that with George Floyd happened and you didn't even know. And she said, I stood up in front of my whole church. Morning. And I said, that's my sister. She's getting her coffee. And I said, I stood up and I said, this tall blonde woman, Marlene's sister, got up and washed my feet. And the Lord spoke to her and said, forgive them. Because of the obedience of me washing her feet, she declared in her Bible study group or whatever, forgive them. And she came to me, she said, thank you for doing that. That impacted my whole life. She goes, you couldn't have known that would happen the next day. And she said, she just hugged me. And anyway, so sometimes we don't understand why we do the things that we do, but just know it's for a purpose and a cause. God never wastes anything that we go through, number one. And number two, he never does anything without a purpose. But I love y'all. And I just wanted to share that. I thought that was just beyond beautiful. And so many other things are happening. So the Lord is bringing this song to pass. And I'm so excited to see what happens today. Yes. I love you guys.